Welcome back. Here we are again, starting a new playthrough. Overtalked and not as edited as many. But first, I'd like to get a few things. I got 0 comments about how to start the Pacific Theater mod, which is fine. I was going to do another Tokyo Express mod playthrough using the IJN, and yeah, I just can't bring myself to do it. Maybe some other time I'll give that a shot, but being a retired U.S. Navy guy, it's kind of hard for me not to go with the American side and feel comfortable. So before I get into that, you see that we have the Tokyo Express mod here, but this is a Pacific mod playthrough. And as you see here, we have Operation Watchtower or Battle Guadalcanal. And that's usually what you get when you get Tokyo Express. And then you have War in the Pacific, Rising Sun, Abdicom, Centrifugal, which is the Abdicom as well. So as you see, whatever the heck I did with loading mods, although the Tokyo Express mod is here, it does show all the other ones. I wish the base game did this automatically, where you could play any of these different types of mods all in one. And I know that's not how the game is set up. I don't think there are any more changes to the actual War in the Sea game itself. The only thing that is improving the game, I think, or expanding the game, is modders that are making these mods. I don't know their names or anything, so I would drop a plug for them if I could. But let me just tell you that they have made this game, for me, much better. And not just because of little, AI little intricacies, but I think the game is better by going into different areas, like the TTE mods improve gameplay. But then when you go into War in the Pacific, the whole new map, different ships. Abdicom, I haven't. We'll probably get to that eventually, but Abdicom, another game with another map, limited numbers of different things. But how did I get to this point? Because I have been trying to do this for quite a week or so, and nothing seemed to change this initial campaign menu. So let's go out and see what I did. This is basically a snapshot of all the mods I loaded into the game, but the mods I selected to actually get to where I am right now, in the order of which they went in: East Indies campaign, the main TTE mod, base OM mod, and then after that I pretty much kind of took a few guesses and probably put some things in. 2 things I like to talk about. First of all, I do like the realism at 24 planes from the TTE realism mod, and then you have Override Apollo, and then All In Mod Pack. You see here that 2 of these are highlighted in bold, if you will, or dark color, and then the others are in gray. I don't know what that signifies, but that's just what I did to get to where I am right now with the game. So enough talking about that. Let's close that out and let's go back into the game, and we'll load where I was. So we got to day 2 and just setup, which is basically, I'll go through what I did from that. As you see the game here, I like to relocate this guy as high as I can on the edge of the map so that you guys can actually see. I used up all the points I did. Again, I'm not playing at a high skill level. I just think the game, I don't know what the fairness of opposing forces are against the side you're playing on is, but I'm not sure that increasing the level of the game actually improves gameplay. you do want the game to move along, and you do want to have the maximum capabilities. But we'll go into the basics setups here. Again, this game changes a little bit, which I like. You have expenditures. In other words, you lose certain categories over time if you don't have an equal amount. In other words, you have to have more supplies than you do troops. Otherwise, your troops will decline faster, and your fuel and supplies and engineering will all decrease over time. That's basically what I get out of this. The custom mechanics cost and airfield plane replenishment cost added. You can you can replenish the planes on your aircraft carriers by, I think you have to be at a level 3. It says that, yeah, you got to get 200 chips sunk. Locations, these are all the same. Let's see. This is what I put out. Kind of a mix. Nothing. We haven't had any engagements yet. So there's really nothing to go there. Rules. As you see, command points starting at 490. So I had a 490 buffer, playing in easy mode basically, to start this challenge off, and then after that will be 100. So you have some type of a fleet established before you actually start the game, if you will, by having so many points, which I think kind of makes sense. But yeah, let's get into that. So, what did I do? Or what have I set myself up for? Alright, we have the Wasp. I put out the Wasp with some destroyers and some light cruisers. You know, just a small group force, because we are going to be going for Wake Island. In fact, I'd like to change that. I don't like that. That's a little bit better. I don't want to hit that radar. So we're going to be coming to Wake Island, and then we're also going to be coming to Tarawa, and we're going to work this angle this way. And then I have to, you see down here at Milne Bay, their engineering and fuel are very low, plus supplies and troops. You notice the supplies are 580 and the troops are 500. So you have more supplies than you do troops, so you should not see a huge decrease. But we'll keep an eye on that over time. And then you have Port Moresby, which is pretty similar. This is a refurbishing point at level 3, so I'd like to make sure I keep that. In other words, I can restock my airplanes from carriers there, but we have to maintain it, which is kind of a struggle because I have no ships down here as of yet. And then Horn Island, which is basically just a small airfield. I probably will maybe move some of these supplies over here, but I can't do that without any ships. One thing about this game that I think is interesting that is not really talked about is you have this whole area over here, into Dutch East Indies, if you will, the Apticom area. I haven't seen anybody really indulge in this area at all. So let's see what kind of ports. If they have a level 5, they can come ships from this area. So let's see what we have. It's an airfield. A lot of air over here. I'm looking for a 5, maybe a 5 there. So Singapore is the 5. Yeah, so if anything, we would have ships coming out of Singapore and coming down this direction. So I would like to have like some type of screen of submarines in this area, because if I'm going to protect these ports down here, I really have to put up some type of blockade, and with submarines or some other kind of ships. So what do I have? We have a Greenling, a Trusty, and a 020, which is I think a French submarine, French, British, and American, or yeah, I think that Trusty's a British, and maybe that's a French. I'm not sure. Let's take a quick look and see what we got. British or Australian don't have any. Truant and Trusty are both deployed. What else do we got here? Yeah, this is a French, right? Think so? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, not a lot of torpedoes, different kind of torpedo. It's got a gun, but just wanted to try out some different, but I think instead of moving them here, maybe we'll move them here and then move them later. But they got a long way to travel before I make any choices. But for right now, I think I want them here because although Rabaul is not a level 5, Truck is. So Truck could easily send down ships to Milne Bay or into this area. So we're going to keep that in mind. But that's where this group of 3 subs is going to go. And I'll probably stagger them. But I want to kind of want to keep them together on their trip down there. We'll see. This group, this is a very similar group that I have here. And they are going to be going off the coast of Japan in this little group here, mainly because there's level 5, so ships are coming out of there, ships are coming out of there, and ships are coming out of there. So 3 fleets can come out of this direction, and this direction as well. So ideally, I put one sub here, or one sub here, one sub here, and another sub here, and have them patrol this area so that they can be covered, and then just leave them there and let them come across in either visual or whatever. So 13 minutes into this, let's see how far we can go. So I already showed you the Wasp. Now we come down here to Great Britain's group. This is probably one of the things I like to do in this game is I like to have representation. In other words, use all the navies, use all the countries' ships. So whether or not they're good for the thing, but whatever. But this is a CVL, the Martlet, or the Hermes, I'm sorry, which has 20 Martlets on the ship. And then you have Nelson, which is a big old, I think he's a battleship or something, but a nice big old ship there. Another big old ship. Why? Because we're going to do some bombarding to break down some traffic areas. And then we have troops. This is a Malaysian force, so 17, 18, more troops, yeah, okay, supplies and troops. So about even. I think I might be low on supplies, but they, I think, are going to hit Tarawa. But that's the plan. And then we have supply group 1 going to Tarawa as well. So when they get here, then we're going to send everybody in. But they're going to have some air support when they go in as well. So we have here fuel because we want to have an air base. Take the air base here, which is only a level 3, but we want that level 3. I'm not going to maybe bombard that. I'll decide when I get there. And then we have Clemson's with troops, supplies. This is a very slow traveling group. More supplies, more supplies, more supplies, more supplies, supplies and supplies. And then behind it, we have this guy, which is just troops, and he's a slow dog too. We had no room, but we had enough to buy this ship, so I decided to just spend the command points, buy that ship, load it with troops, and send it on its way. These guys are really in no danger. They'll get there when they get there, but when this group, so supply group 1 to Tarawa, gets to here, these guys will already be there, and then we will go in together and land, and then if it doesn't look good, maybe we'll bombard, but that's what I have. So yeah, I'm pretty bulky in some areas, and then pretty split in others, using what I have going. So let's run the clock and see what I have for scouts. So as you see, what we have is we don't have an awful lot out. I'm covering with these Beauforts. These guys have torpedoes just in case, but I'm not expecting them to go too far, and just in case they come across something that they can attack safely. I don't want to risk any planes. So we have one with nothing, and then two with torpedoes. So if they come across a supply group or something, maybe they can do that. But otherwise, we're not going to. These lightnings, they are just patrolling. I'm not expecting them to do much of anything other than just go in the air and do their thing. P-40s, they're going to patrol in this area of the water. And that's it. What's this guy doing? This guy's doing an overlay patrol. So the lightnings and them will pass in the day. This Warhawk, he's covering this strait here. We've been seeing mystery planes coming from the south here, out of nowhere off the map. So it's just a spawn point, and it's going to be annoying, but that's just what we got. I could probably send up some more Dauntlesses. Again, I'm not sending them out with anything. Why do I have 4? That's a mistake. What do you got there? Well, let's RTB these guys and then send out. We're gonna fix this up a little bit here. Made an error in my distribution of aircraft. Yeah, the Dauntless is pretty much are the smart ones to send out for scouts. I'm going to try something different in this one, and that is to utilize this guy just to see how it works. I can already tell that I'm not going to be too happy with it, just because of the fact that this range is not cool enough. So we're going to have them just do that route. Of course, it doesn't work. Of course. All right, let's forget that, and we'll go to doing it the old way. 680, close enough. And keep it on routine. There we go. And let's get a couple more out real quick. In fact, I can send these guys out, which will be a little bit less combustive, if you will. And because they only do a short amount, let's see what we can do here. One more down. Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll send out from the other. And this guy I'm going to send on a regular course. I'd like to do maybe, let's see what we can do here. 132. There you go. You do that. You know, it's just to get eyes out. It's not to attack anything. But if you don't use them, they can't do you any good. So that's the deal with that. Of course, it doesn't let me. Yeah, with the way the mods are in, there's a specific timing. You can no longer send out empty aircraft, which is probably why this guy is with, he says 2 now, not 4. That's weird. Okay, whatever. But that's probably why they are the way they are. What was the 4? This guy. Let's just keep you doing what you're doing, because I don't want you to yeah, we'll just send them out like that. At least one. Yeah, before in the game, your aircraft carriers, you could send out unarmed aircraft again and again and again without doing anything when you're on pause. In this format of the game, I don't think it was like that, but the way I have it loaded in, it makes it a little interesting. You can only send out 1 aircraft per couple of seconds. So if I try to launch an aircraft right now, it says I gotta wait. It'll just pop right up when it's ready to launch again. But so Canberra, which is this guy, I think. Oh, that's the light cruisers. Yeah, Canberra. He doesn't have any aircraft, so you would think that the game just wouldn't allow you to do it. Let's see if this one allows me to launch. It does. Okay. And with nothing done, of course. And let's send you let's send you this way. 606. Close enough. And you'll do that. And I have a feeling one of the things I don't like about the game sometimes is I don't have any aircraft in this group, which is fine. But I can send supply group 1. So at least they have some cover. And then this guy, I'm going to let him do his own thing. I'm not even worried about it. But only 4 aircraft, that's just in case if they get spotted, they can shoot down a spotter. The Wasp is again ready to launch an aircraft, so let's do that. Yeah, just do whatever. And I'm not being very accurate with these, but we're just spanning them out so that they can get some eyes. There's really, you know, we're doing enough to let them do their thing, and that's fine. P40, what's going on with you? So here we are. This P40 is just doing. He's just doing scouting. He's just doing this patrol, and he's been picked up by. I'm going to say something from Lay, but let's see what happens. Again, with this mod, the timer's on, so I'm not going to be able to cheese out. What I will do is do my best to avoid. which is basically going low. Another thing with this mod I like to say is that visually, my graphics card works better in this mod than it did in the other mod. And the reason for that, I have no idea, but it just does. I think the mods itself are set up a little bit better. For whatever reason, there you go. The water seems to be not very wavy, but we'll see what happens when we go to see some ships. But yeah, we're not seeing anything, but let's see what happens when we retreat. So it's allowing us to retreat because I don't think we're not finding that other plane. So let's just let that guy go and do his thing. But let's see what let's look at this group looks like. Let's just go into tactical and take a look, and we'll just see what happens. So that's the Hermes. And again, these models are much better than in the previous playthrough you saw me do with the American forces. It's just, they're better. You know, they have color and shade and you know, all sorts of different things. And the boats, you know, look at those little dinghies and the captain's gig. You know, some of these are really gray, but the detail I think is better. This guy's not flying a flag, is he? Not this guy. I'm not seeing a flag on that guy either. Hermes got a flag. Oh. And look at this crazy ship. Love it. I just think it's cool. With the old Admiral's launch here. Personally been on one of those. Not that year probably, but yeah, pretty interesting stuff. And a big transport ship. Yeah, so to me, they just look better, and I think that's a cool thing. So, all right, let's move on. See if we can get the time rolling here. Almost a half an hour into the game. Let me take a look at this guy, maybe. Again, it's early in the morning, and you know, there's not a lot of, you know, let's talk a little bit about my orientation of ships. Again, we're not in line ahead. I think we're in circle, and it's because I like to have ships spread out in case of a submarine. So if we go up here, we have these, what are these, Clemsons, I think, the Godsboro. They are carrying troops or supplies, and they do have depth charge capability, and they do have sonar. So we put them basically out front. We have two out front, so they'll be able to screen between themselves, that guy and this guy. And then if we go further back, we look, we see internally, we have these small little, I don't know what the hell they call them. I think they're, I don't know if they're British or French. I would have to look again. Let's see here. Yeah, this guy, he's British, but he has depth charges and he has dual purpose anti-aircraft, as well as the Clemsons. So that just makes for slow, you know. I think they can go, what, I don't know, he's only going 10 now, but if we can, I don't know if we can speed this up at all, but we'll see what happens. But those guys, they serve a purpose, and the purpose is they can attack a submarine if it comes in too close. And we got one on each side. They're very cheap. I think they were 3 command points. And then we have outside, we have another Clemson with a flag. This one looks a little bit different from the last one, doesn't it? But it's the same ship as this guy up here. I guess they do look the same. But his position is a little bit more in the way that the thing is set up. Now this is just a supply ship at the back. There's 2 exactly the same, and they carry supplies or troops, and they're at the back because most time you'll get encounters with submarines. It's from the front. So these guys can both take this guy will take a right-hand turn, and this guy will take a left-hand turn. And then we have an oiler. Put him in the middle because it's the most protected. Hopefully the 4 ships up front will spot something if we do come across a submarine. And then he even has another little escort behind him. So there's 2, one here and one here, the same type. So they can attack if there's something really close. But that's why I set those up the way they are. And I like them spread out. In fact, if I was to change, I think, to that, which is what they're in right now, we'll double check that when we get out of it. But I think we could also expand this out as well. The more distance, the more maneuverability, the distance between seeing a submarine and not seeing a submarine. So that's why I did it the way I did it. So let's get out of here now. I think I've rambled on enough. Let's see what that's set up. A convoy. Okay, whatever. Thought it was circled, but okay, we'll go with that. Again, down here is safe, so I'm not really concerned about too much. So let's let her roll. Oh, we are at nighttime already. Let's see what happens. So we are unfortunately going to have to land all of our aircraft, and hopefully we'll see something in the night. But again, I have nothing to defend pretty much during the night at all. And then we go back to the daytime. Now let's see what this Wasp is actually launching out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 SPDs, and we have a group of only 1 Wildcat. Okay, that's not cool. We are going to land him because that's not what we want. We want to have a cap. I do like to have, of course it's not going to let me because I just landed it. So let's go. Alright, back to this. I do want a cap. I don't want them to have any ordnance, and I want them to be over the Wasp. And I'd like them to stay up over the Wasp all the time during the day. And then in the morning, I'd like to see them do it again, but I have a feeling at the end of the day, even if I hit this recurring order, I don't think it will do it, but we'll see. Gonna check over these martlets, how many we got for... I want to get some over the supply group again, so let's send 4 more over there. Over supply group 1 for Tarawa. And I'm again not worried about this little ship. If they get over past this group, I'm not too worried about it. So let's see what happens. And I'm not worried about that. Not worried about that. This guy's gonna get hit because he's in the wrong doo-doo. I intentionally made this B-17 circum the radar, but I have a feeling this guy is going to kill that, and we're going to get some love on these. Let's see what we got here just in case. Alright, This guy's getting hit again down here. I have a feeling this is not just one plane. It's probably 9 or 12 planes, so we want to just avoid that. We don't have enough aircraft down here to play. You know, we only got 3 Warhawks. One is up, so we only got 2 in the bucket, and 3 Beaufighters, which are used for ships. You're not gonna, you know, you're not gonna air-to-air combat with these against Zeros. It's just not gonna happen. Beauforts are just bombers. They're not gonna. They're only going after ships. So we got nothing to really defend ourselves in that area. Port Moresby. Yeah, this guy's just triggering us. It's not gonna. What do we have here anyway? Air Cobras and 2 Lightnings. Again, there's not enough to do anything, so we are going to just relax. We are being invaded, so I'm not gonna cry too much about it. I don't know if there's a ship there or not. One thing about this that I've encountered before with this mod or with the Pacific map is that these ports down here are very difficult. You have to zoom in a little bit and then modify so you can move the map around. But it doesn't give you an awful lot of space to be able to see what the heck is going on down here. You can miss it very easily. But we're going to see what we can do. Milne Bay is pressing my Warhawk again. He's landing, so he should be safe. Oh, really? Okay, so we're going to lose a Warhawk here, but I'm going to do my best. To get him home. I don't think I will be able to, but we'll see what we can do. This guy cannot outrun a Zero. So let's see how many we got. We got 3, we got 6, we got 9. There's not really much I can do against these. We see we're right there. And he's engaging a very highly advanced force because that was left on. We are not going to do that. We do not want to just die because. We're going to try and speed up as best we can and get out of Dodge. We may try to cheese it out, which will let us do it in 22 seconds. So I'm going to be creative here. We had no chance there. There's not really much you can do. Again, I talked about it in my last video about the enemy bases. Just, you know, I have 3 fighters on this base, and they have at least 9. And if they have that, 3 against 9 is not a fight. That's cheating, in my opinion. But we can't just complain about it. We have to just go with it. So it is what it is. Probably could have gotten out of it, but whatever. So, and where did these guys come from? I think they came from Leh, which is a level 2 airfield, and they have at least 9 air fighters on it at a level 2. So if we go to, let's go to Wake, which is a level 5 airfield, and we have 12. So that's 3 more at level 5 than a base that has a level 2. Therefore, you see, and if you play the IJN, you're going to get the same numbers as the Americans do in this playthrough. You're not going to get the advanced numbers like you see from the enemy, but that's to make it immersive and play. So we're continuing on. Counter at Port Moresby again. That's this guy just entering the radar, but we don't want to engage them. We can't. We don't have enough. We don't have enough aircraft to do that. Yeah, we really don't. We could send out some, but maybe we send these guys out. These guys don't have range at all. And we can just have them go this way and back. And if these guys come out here, then maybe I'll send up some in their rear to see if that will help at all. Let's take a look and see what we got. Horn Island. That's these guys. Let's see if we can get up the other 2. And just stay with these guys. We'll just do that. And I want to send up the P-38s if these guys keep going this way. So let's see what happens. We're going to send them up. I don't know if it will be a good thing, but I think lightnings can travel faster than zeros, so we are going to send them up and send them. Where are we going to send them? I really don't want to get involved into this base, so let's see what happens. Immediately they launch more, so that's what's going to happen. Air Cobras, I want you to be more of this direction, like so. And hopefully your P-40s will come in behind you. And we are going to go into a little combat here, just so I can be happy a little bit. I want everyone to shut off their auto attack. I want the P-39s to get over here, and I want these P-38s to get over here. We prefer to have people together than apart. I'd also prefer them to be in a, let's say Vic. Is that all 300? That's a new number. Didn't know that was a thing. So let's stay with the P-40s and see what we can get here. See if we find any interesting fellows. And we may not find anything. which is fine. Let's see what these guys are doing. Let's speed up, will you? And you, let's speed up. Because the last thing I want is for my fighters to be caught with their pants down. And again, we're probably not going to see anything. Let's see what we can find. Again, there were aircraft all over the place. Again, no radar. These buttons shouldn't even be here. You find that they can remove the bottom button for when ships do have radar, but they can't remove the top buttons. I think that's an easy fix. I don't know why they can't remove that from the mod. You know, when I first started playing the game, I started clicking these buttons like that, and obviously these aircraft don't have radar, but yeah, it shouldn't be an option. Just a way to improve the game, I think. So we'll get all these guys together and see what we have. I do like the lightnings. I do. Air Cobras are cool too. And they can outspeed the Zeros as well, but the P40s cannot. They can only go 290. It's about as best as they can get, speed-wise. Getting closer. And these guys. Another thing I noticed about this game is that it doesn't matter how close in engagement, how close you get your aircraft. When you go back into the game itself, you find that the aircraft are still spread apart. So we're not going to get anything in this one, so let's move on. So remember, these aircraft are all pretty close together in the central part of engagement. Let's see what happens when we move where they're located. So we go back down here and you look. You see that they appear to be close, but they are not close at all. They're pretty good distance away. So let's be clear to where we're going. This guy. I want him to be on the P40. The right one? Or is it P39? That's not the one I want. Yeah, just follow him around. I'd like them to be somewhat close. So down here in Port Moresby, if I'm looking at it blazing a fire, I have a good supply of things here. This level 3 base I want to maintain, I want to keep. So I have to get something down here to protect it. We may not be able to. Might have to wait, but we'll see. Again, down to Port Moresby. trying to get these guys caught into like a sandwich between the Warhawks and the Air Cobras, and we might be able to capture some of those, shoot them down, because ideally, there's only one aircraft in there, so we have to wait. Hopefully I didn't just kill my aircraft. Is it just one? Do you want to do a head-to-head? Yeah, you're not one. You're 4. So we're going to not do that. All right, let's go. We are going to go this way. And again, this guy, let's see how fast he goes. He's 271 right now. That's how you can determine if you have the speed on somebody. And there's more than one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't tell if that's dirt on my monitor or not. I think this is the same group of 9. You just can't see them yet. They're too far back here. But yeah, we're just gonna run. And now we're gonna leave, because that's not a fair engagement for him. Do I want you following those two guys, or do I want you with him? Let's do the other Air Cobra. That guy? Yeah, let's do that. So that you're at least together a little bit. Might be able to do a little daisy chain on him. Alright, this encounter here. We've got a nice group here. 2, 4, yeah, 7. Let's see what we can do with that. So we got zeros again. How many we got? 3. So what do we want to do? There's a couple things. P-38s. There's a difference to how some of these things should be done. Sometimes you have to just here I'm stumbling with my words here. Sometimes you have to just engage to see if you can, win out the battle. Maybe that's not always fruitful, but sometimes it's what you have to do. Let's see if these guys split up. So these guys are going after 1. So I'm going to go to the deck as fast as I can. And this guy, I want to turn around and come back and go for 3. This guy, I want to go for 2. And you, I want on the deck. I don't know if that's going to work, but we'll see. This guy is... Yeah, we'll just see what happens. Let's go for it. Not forgetting about these two over here. Both of these guys, P39s. Is there 3 of them? 2 of them. Yeah, I don't think they're going to get an engagement, but let's let it roll and see what happens. But I want to stay on this guy because I like to get him to be at least somewhat defensive. Wow. No win over there. Slowing down because AI doesn't like to change their speed, which is good. Where are you going? Are you killing my guy? So 290, 203, he shouldn't be catching me. This guy's going to get shot down if he's not careful. So he's blowing right by me. Shut down, and we're gonna be able to pass this guy. So we've done horrible so far. P39s, 2 P39s, and a 1 P38 are down. These zeros are just kicking my butt, and the P38s are nowhere to be seen. Yeah, that's just unfortunate. These guys are not pulling their weight at all. So we're gonna wait until the other fighters come in. This guy just doesn't seem to want to play. So let's have him go after a different guy. Maybe he can bum rush these dudes. So unfortunately, we've lost quite more assets than we can manage, but we do have a trick. It's kind of a cheesy trick, and I'm going to show it to you right now. It's a way of getting a little bit even with the way the game is played. You tag your closest enemy, which is this number 2 guy, and you see how fast he's going, 282. We can go 360, so we're not going to go 360, we're going to go 300 to keep them close. And then we are going to really be grossly taking abuse of the game. But the game takes advantage of us, so we are going to do the same. And the way that it works is you trail them. They will be stupid AI bots, and they will not change orders. And this guy is going to come up tail end Charlie and attack. But we'll see how that works out. The key is this guy needs to be able to sneak in behind without being discovered. So 283 is fine. And this guy needs to be not shot down. So we're going to keep an eye on this speed and make sure they don't get above 300, which I don't think they can. And then the P39 is just going to come up and start with the guy in the rear in the gear, rear with the gear, and it may change to be number 4. So let's just see what happens here. And again, we are not, what's the correct term? We are not, if we allow the game to just do things that aren't accurate, then we're falling into the game being the game and us not being us. So we want to be able to just play the game, you know. We don't want the game to control us. We want to be able to actually have fun. And part of that is you got to even it out a little bit. I've already talked about how many more aircraft they have than us, how they spawn after nighttime hours. We haven't seen that in this game yet so far, in this playthrough. And again, I will take this guy all the way around the circle if I have to get those aircraft in, because they just shot down, you know, 90% of my, what the heck. Somehow these guys saw my dude and decided against, yeah, while I was talking, I just screwed that up. So now we're going to go for at least the one guy. And they can't catch you anyway, so let's just do that. And then what we're going to do is the P38 is going to come around and take over for the P39, tail end Charlie. This is cheating. I don't know, maybe. Does it have to happen to make the game playable? I think so. You know, we lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 aircraft because we came up against a superior force, and our planes don't AI fight as well as the enemy AI. They just don't. You can micromanage individual planes and they get beat out. They speed up when they should slow down. They slow down. Well, they never slow down. Whatever speed they're at, they stay at. Speaking of which, let's check this here. I'm going to do a speed check on this guy. He's doing 288, we're doing 300. Let's slow down a little bit to that. Again, I don't want him to catch me, I just want him to stay interested. And 288 to 338. We should be able to zap this guy out of the sky here pretty soon. And again, you look at the tail, these guys are just following blindly. And once I get this guy out of the sky, we will slow down to 288 or something to let those guys catch up while the P-38 comes around to take over. And again, I'm going to let him shoot. I'm not going to... Another thing, when these guys shoot and they shoot down an aircraft, they immediately pitch up. So if there's another fighter in front of them, you'll notice I have to retarget acquire before, you know, I pause it, retarget acquire, and let them go again. Just the way it is. So he's going to come up and just totally blow this guy out of the water. Shoot, 2 attempts. So let's see what he does. Immediately he pitches up. We don't want that. We want him to slow the F down. Let's do it to 90, and then we're going to go back down to this, and we need to re-engage his pattern. So we're going to say you're going to go here, and then you're going to go here, and you go speed out here, 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 here. Again, this is as janky as you want it to be. And I'm going to take this guy off of his waypoints and just have him scoot about. So we are going to go speed up. And we're going to have him do a zip out, a dodge moment. And let him just wait for those fighters to get behind my guy. And then we are going to... A lot of these things happened with during World War II with bombers. The fighters would see an injured bomber and they would follow it until it led them back to either other aircraft or a base. And that's where they discovered where these bases were. I can slow down even more. Got to keep an eye on that though, because I don't want them to spot me. Wow. Wow. So in this mod, they know where you are regardless of being on the map, which is odd. He knew to follow me this way, which is kind of interesting. That's something I've never seen before. Usually they stay right with the Air Cobra. It's just one. Let's see what we can do. I want to see how fast this guy's going. 230. We should be a glimmer in his eye because of how fast we're going compared to him. There's no way he should be able to catch us. He's maxing at 274, even though we're damaged. Let's see what we got in our tail. I know a lot of people probably don't play the game this way. It's probably something that they despise. I'm sorry if that's a bad sign for my play style. You know, I'm not saying I'm cheating. I'm saying that I'm trying to even out the unbalanced part of the game. The game is. And that's just how I see it. I just see the game. I love the game. Don't get me wrong. I do. I just see the game as somehow they make it. It's a little bit unfair from time to time, and you have to be ahead of it. And if you're not ahead of it, then you're going to lose. So he's 286. I want to be a little bit fat. I want to be, yeah, let's just do that. And then you need to hurry your butt up and save him, because if you don't, now if any of these guys turn, I'm gonna call BS in a big way. It shouldn't happen. These guys are trying to track down this dude. Maybe he needs to slow down a little bit just to let them catch up so that they feel like they are in engagement. I have to be careful because I don't want him to get shot down. If he gets shot down, it's a 3-on-1, and that's a losing cause. So I think they were at 278, now they're at max 288, and they're getting hungry. So as soon as they get a little bit closer, wait till they get to maybe about 2,000 yards, then we'll speed back up to match them so that they can't get closer. Again, we are trying to even out why the game is at times unfair. You know, we're not making political discussion about, you know, right or wrong or whatever. But they give you the option, so they're going to give you the option. If you're willing to do it, then that's the option you'll take. And that's the option I'm taking. So, yeah. Let's let this run a little bit longer. About close enough. So they're 288. Let's match them at 288. And then keep an eye on this dude. So you need to hurry your Dukas up there, please, and get rid of number 3 for us. And in the rear view mirror, which is impossible to do, a pilot looking in through binoculars like this would be, yeah, he's still floating back there. So we'll get you later, bucko. But for now, let's focus on this dude. Again, I want you to watch how when we attack, immediately instead of going after the second one, they pitch up like they're going to turn away, and a real fighter pilot would never do that. So we're going 360. We don't want to blow past them. We just want to catch up to them. So let's slow down a little bit. In fact, a little more, because reasons. So watch him pitch up. See, he's going to pitch up and he's going to take off into La La Land somewhere, even turn. So we have to re-engage and attack, and then he will go right back into attack posture. He's a crap shot, for sure. And then what we're going to do is a little risky. I want this guy to go this way. And we want him to go full out. And I don't necessarily want him to engage. I just want him to head in the direction of that other fighter. We could leave right now, but I think, yeah, it'd be best to let's see if we can get some revenge on this guy, and we're gonna send you in it as well to attack him, because I want to see. If you do not equal out your speed, what happens is these guys wind up just smoking you. So he's going to try and run, and we are not going to allow that. We are going to shoot him down because he's a miserable AI, and we don't want him to ruin our days anymore. Again, if you're going to attack from that position, you better We just want you to land at our base, brah. Yeah, what a stupid maneuver. What are you doing, brah? Alright, so you two guys did pretty well. We are going to probably end it here. With that engagement. I think that is good enough for an hour and 20 minutes for episode 1. We are on day 2 of the Pacific campaign. I hope you enjoyed my banter and some relaxing talk over this game, War on the Sea. And if you enjoyed it, leave a comment below. If you didn't like it, I guess there are other channels. I don't know. I don't have a lot of people that watch my videos, and that's okay. I only put them up because maybe there's somebody out there that gets something out of it. I'm not trying to make any money off of this. I'm just doing it to satisfy my curiosity and need, and talking about a game I like. So I hope you do too. If you do like it, leave a like, and if you do want to talk about, leave a comment, go ahead and do that too. I'm okay with that. So we will see you in the next one. Talk to you. Bye.